Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 with our realistic series. I mean, we can, in theory, we can afford to go and buy one. We do have a bit of money, but we do have one. We've got one right here. It's not a weeder that we're after, it's a hoe. We need a hoe. Because a weeder is too small. It only does the first stage, whereas this beastie right here, this one does the first and second stage of weeds. And if they get to the third stage, the biggest grown stage, you can't do anything about them at all. Well, you can if you're using a non-organic approach. Then you can, you know, chuck on some herbicide. But we want to use the organic approach. That's what we'd like to be using. So in order to be able to use the organic approach, we are going to need to get on with this weeding before those weeds grow any bigger. Something I was watching recently was a little... I'm quite interested in social insects. I've always had quite a fascination with social insects. Let me just jump out and make sure that we're all right. All tires and tracks, right? That's fine. I've always had a real fascination with social insects. And in particular, I like bees and I like ants. Ants are my favorite. I've always loved ants. And I was just... reading some more information about leafcutter ants and how in South America the biggest problem that they have is because large chunks of South America, the main herbivore in the wild, in very large chunks of the continent, are not animals. Well, they're not mammals, rather, I should say, I suppose. They are the leafcutter ants. The leafcutter ants are some of the biggest herbivore... I'm not sure what it's the biggest herbivore percentage, I suppose. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. They consume far more greenery than just about anyone else, and anything else. And there's areas of South America where they are the principal herbivore, and they're kind of responsible for shaping the entire landscape around them. And they make huge nests, and they consume massive quantities of greenery every single day. And the problem that farmers have in some areas in South America is these ants are everywhere. And so they're having to fight against these ants and stop them from eating all their crops, because if you get a colony of leafcutter ants that establishes itself on the edge of your field, a lot of your field is going to disappear down into the holes for the leafcutter ants and start feeding all of the... Well, the leaves themselves, they don't feed the colony. They take all the greenery down, they chew it all up and turn it into a pulp, and then they put it into big chambers in their nests, and they have a type of mold that grows on the greenery, and they eat the fruit of the mold. So they eat the mold. They farm, they go out, they gather crops, they bring it in, and they farm their mold. So that's what they're doing. They're going out and they're doing some farming, growing their mold, and then the colony lives off of the mold. When the colony gets quite big, and I'm talking millions of individuals, they can clear, I think it was... I don't actually remember, okay? I don't actually remember. There was a number that was thrown around, and it's half a ton of greenery, but I'm not sure how long it takes for them to eat the half a ton. You know, I'm going to have to go and look this up now. While I am continuing to just drive around the edge of the field here, I'll need to go and empty that sugar beet harvester as well in a minute. While I'm driving around the edge here, I'm just going to very quickly look up and see how much, because I can't remember now, it's going to really bug me. I need to see how much greenery a leafcutter ant nest will consume in a year. Okay, I went and had a look, and I do actually need to go and empty out the sugar beet harvester a minute. Let's just shut that one off a sec. So, the total number of individuals in a leafcutter ant colony is not over... Well, I say it's not over 1 million. It is over 1 million. It's actually the bigger ones they can reach up to 8 million individual ants with a single queen. Now, there are some large colonies around in the world of different types of ants that have lots of queens. This has one queen and 8 million individuals, and is one of the largest types of colony that you will find anywhere. They do consume about half a ton of material every year. Now, half a ton of material is not a small quantity by any stretch of the imagination, and the fact that that is being all brought in by tiny little ants is even more impressive. And the entire lot is then chewed up into a pulp and fed to the fungus that they live on, which is absolutely amazing. I really do think that they are really, really incredible creatures, and something I would really dearly love is to be able to keep my own. However, in order to be able to keep leafcutter ants, you can get colonies, you can get types that don't expand into an 8 million individual colony, but you still need to have a temperature and humidity controlled environment, because if you get it wrong, it goes very badly for the ants. The fungus will die pretty quickly if the temperature is not maintained approximately 25 degrees. It's got a very low tolerance for heat variation. The ants themselves are pretty good at maintaining it in the wild because they dig deep holes, and they basically, the temperature is regulated because they're so far underground. They don't. There's not a wide temperature variation. Like there's not a big temperature variation going on. So they're able to maintain it really well while they're deep under the ground. And if you're trying to keep them in captivity, you don't generally allow them to dig deep down underneath your house or whatever, so you've got to have a very carefully temperature controlled room if you want to be able to keep them, and that's not something I have, so it's not something that's going to be happening anytime soon, but it is a dream. One day, maybe. I did used to keep other ants. One of the most common ants in UK is called Lasius niger. It's the black garden ant. It's a really common one. Most people in the UK will have seen it. It's actually common right across Northern Europe. They hibernate through the winter, and then you'll see them all coming out, and you get loads of them. A big colony of Lasius niger, the biggest colony that you will generally get, is around 40,000 individual ants. Normally it's closer to 20 to 25,000 ants, but they can go up to about 40,000. So that's a big colony, and I have kept those before. Kept them in the house. Sen was never very comfortable with the idea of keeping ants, and then I'm not sure what sort of triggered it, but she started to have bad dreams about the ants escaping, and I kind of thought, well, it was around the time that I put a second colony in as well. I had one of the black garden ant, and then I had another one that I actually got myself, because the black garden ant one was I sent away for a newly mated queen. And that colony started to do really well, and then I had another one, which was basically, I was doing some digging work and noticed an ant nest. It was red ants. I don't know what type. I never have actually properly identified them, but they were a type of red ant. And one of the types that has multiple queens, and I managed to get 3 queens with that particular little group. I noticed that they'd been dug through, so I very carefully scooped as many as I could, a whole load of brood ants, and got at least 3 queens in there, into a small container, took them home, put them in an aquarium, and I kept them there. And they started to do quite well along with it, and I had them for a few months, but then Sen started to have bad dreams about the ants escaping, and she really, really hated ants. She hates them. Like, she doesn't like insects at all, and that's quite a normal thing. There's a lot of people that don't like insects, and it got to that she wasn't sleeping very well because I had more of these in the house, and I did keep them in one room. I never allowed them anywhere else. Like, they couldn't escape from their enclosures. I was very, very careful about that. But she still started to have bad dreams about them and things like that. And she never asked me to do it. never once asked me to do it, so do not think that it was because she told me to or ordered me. This was completely on me. I thought that it was unfair of me to keep them in the house any longer, because she was starting to have bad dreams about them. Didn't say anything, didn't make any complaints, but I knew she was having bad dreams about them. So I got rid of them. And I didn't kill them, I put them out into the garden. And I did it it was early summer when I released them. And I did it very, very carefully in stages. And both of the colonies successfully made it through the first winter. One of the colonies, I don't think, made it through the second winter, but they were active all the following summer. The black garden ants, they made it through at least a few summers. I think they might still be there. The queen generally lives for about 20 years on those types of ants. So I just kind of left them to it. And I think the one colony is doing well. So I did have them for a while in the house, and it was really awesome being able to watch them and feed them and look after them and everything, and see them growing and see the colony expanding and everything. I absolutely loved it. I really did. I thought it was absolutely incredible, amazing, and I would love to be able to do it again. And I probably will at some point, but I'm not going to keep them in house. It's just not fair on Sen. She really doesn't like insects, and I actually am rather fond of my wife, so I'm not going to put her through something like that. I will instead probably end up one day converting my garden shed into a much more insulated, temperature-controlled environment in which I could actually keep not only some ants that are native to this country, but hopefully tropical ants as well. And that's what that is the dream. That is the ultimate dream, is that I would be able to keep a colony of leafcutter ants in my garden shed, which would be absolutely amazing. I mean, yeah, you do have to find food for them, and it can be quite difficult, especially if you've got a bigger colony, but that will one day be the dream. So you never know, I might actually one day start posting videos of my ant colonies on YouTube. I don't know if that's something that you'd want to see or not. I do have another channel where I did post a few videos and stuff. I kind of thought about that for a bit and decided that I'm probably not going to be posting more stuff onto that channel. If I do decide to, you know, if I was to ever do anything like that, if I was to get ants and start posting videos about them, I wouldn't post it onto another channel. I would post everything onto this channel. This is my channel. If I'm going to do stuff, I post it on here. I mean, I know that there are arguments in favor of using different channels for different subjects, that kind of thing, but this is my... The way I look at it is this is my channel. This is where I produce my content. This is where the content goes. So if I have more content, I will put it up here for everybody to see. So if there's something that you think you'd like to see in the future, let me know in the comments, because I'd probably end up doing it. Now, I've got 20,000 more sugar beets, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop that one a second. I'm going to... Actually, we'll just reverse. Reverse over here and tip this one out. Now, I've not got a lot of time for going and doing the mowing before darkness descends upon us, which... it's not very helpful, is it? Right, how much more can we put in this one? This one holds like 50, that's as much as we can put in there. So that one's now completely full. We're going to wait for that one to be emptied. I've still got mowing to go and do. I thought that tractor wasn't going to be able to get all of it there, but that's alright. That'll be fine. We haven't got a huge amount left on this harvest now, so I can get that one going again. And I'll at least go and get started on the hay up on doing the mowing. This tractor here, if we could get a good chunk of this one done, that would be absolutely great. And we can at least go and get started on the mowing up in the grass field before nightfall. Although, I'm actually starting to think that maybe we should leave the mowing until tomorrow. And I've got these mowers and everything is all ready to roll, but it probably would be better if we were to leave this until the morning, because it is already starting to get late. I could use this tractor here, I'm hoping. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Talked myself out of this job already. Right. These you have to just dump them like that, unfortunately. And I'll bring that one forward a bit, and look, you first need to... I really hate that it does that. It doesn't let you lower it down while it's folded if you want to unhitch the thing. Oh, I meant to go and add back in the sheep's milk mod that I had, and I completely forgot to do that. Oh well. I'm hoping that this tractor will actually be able to pull that trailer. If it can, that would be absolutely brilliant. We'll run this one up the road and we can pop that into the sugar beet storage. And that will keep us going for a little bit longer. Yeah, I haven't got a front weight, so it's definitely going to make this tractor struggle a little bit. Probably would be better if we put this one over on a weeder and had our big tractor pulling this one. But we'll do this for now. I know that the texture... The one thing I've always hated about this game. The texture for harvested sugar beet is awful. It's always been really terrible. It's absolutely awful texture, and the settings at the moment, it's flickering quite a bit, I've noticed, as we travel around. There's not a lot that I can do about that, unfortunately, and sugar beet texture has always been pretty grim. And the first time they ever put it in, that texture, potatoes is not far behind, but the sugar beet texture, the harvested sugar beet texture, has always been bad. It's never, ever, in all the time I have played Farming Simulator, been in any way okay. Like, it's always been the texture that's the worst one for trying to record, to make pictures of, just to have on the screen. You know, if we had a front weight, it probably would be going a little bit easier. I was going to say he stopped. He hasn't stopped completely, but he did then. He actually stopped completely. I only turned a little bit because I wanted to swing out around the gate. Are we going to be able to pull it up the hill? We're ripping the rubber off these tires. Right, we're going to have to... oop, let's not do that. Unfortunately, the wheels are twisting a bit. Right, let's try bringing him down there and then have a bit of a run up and see if that helps. If I go straight up the wrong side of the road, can I get a run up going past the steepest bit? There we go. He says, coming to a complete stop once again. Right, there is a way that you can cheat this. It's basically you get close to it like that, except that the whole thing is just, you know what, I'm going to leave it there a second, and I'm going to go and get the front weight on, and that will actually make a difference. I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make, but it will make some difference. Now, where did we put it? I left it here somewhere. Was it in this side? I can't actually remember now. Oh, no, it's in there. It's up against the fence. I see it just across the road. There we go. There's our front weight. Right, if we use that one, that should get us just a little tiny bit of extra. It really does actually make a difference. Like, it's surprising, because then you've got all four wheels pressed more firmly onto the ground. The four-wheel drive can engage a little bit more thoroughly, and it does actually work. If this doesn't work, I am going to... You know what? Let's have some lights. If this doesn't work, I'm going to have to go and take this tractor down and change them over. This is why we were using the big tractor for this job. Right, let's go. He's actually pulling forwards now. It's slow, admittedly, but he is moving. It's very... Oh, this is terrible. Right, let's try that again. But this time we can have another run up. But now that we've got that front weight, he should be able to just grip a little bit more, which means the get a little tiny bit of extra speed just on this. We can do this. We are absolutely going to be able to do this. There. The tractor has gotten up onto the more level bit of ground. The The trailer is on the steepest bit right now, but he's still moving. He's still moving. This can take a while. I am totally not completely and utterly stubborn. Definitely didn't just stay there and wait until I finally managed to get up the hill. I wouldn't do something like that. I could have just gone and gotten the other tractor. That probably would have been the better option, but I didn't want to. I was having fun. I got it. We did do it. I mean, yes, admittedly, we now have no rubber left on our tyres whatsoever. We are going to need to go and buy new tyres for this tractor. But the important thing is we got up the hill. Okay? Ignore the black marks all over the road where we burned all the rubber off our tyres. That's a minor detail. It really is a minor detail. It doesn't matter in the slightest. Okay, we'll dump all of this lot into here, and then we can rush back down to the field again, and we can go and get the next lot of sugar beet. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold that one up like that. At this time, I'm going to take off what we've got in there, and then I'll bring this one straight back, and the sugar beet harvester can carry on working. If I bring you around here, are we going to be able to... Well, it's empty trailer. We should be able to. If it can't do it with an empty trailer, it's a pretty poor job, isn't it? Right, that's absolutely... He's actually struggling a little bit, even with the empty trailer. Really should have had this one on the weeder. That would have been a much better option. Oh well. Right, what I think we'll do is we will unload the sugar beet harvester right there, and the plow, that one can just keep going. They're going to do a night shift tonight. This one here, though, is going to stop. And I'm just going to leave that one there. We'll come back to this in the morning. This one is going to keep going until they can't see anymore. So that one can sort of do a night shift. I don't want the sugar beet harvester doing the night shift. That one can just stay where he is. So if I come up alongside here, I'll take off the 40,000 litres that we got in here. And I'm hoping that I can run that back to our farm without too much trouble. So I'll put a load there up the front. And then we'll slowly fill up down through the entire trailer. There we go. And... right. I think it's 42,000 that it holds. No, 43,000. Alright, there we go. Well, it's close. Let's go to you. And I'll shut that one off, turn the lights off. There, and 43,000 litres of sugar beet. It's still going to struggle with this. It's going to struggle with this a lot. I got me flashes on because we still need to go onto the road. Once I've tipped this out, I will sleep the night. We'll bring the trailer back down in the morning. Except I'm going to take the front weight off first before I bring the trailer back down. And park the trailer in the field, and then we're going to get the mowers hitched on, and we're going to go straight out to the grass field because we need quite desperately to get that grass cut. We have to get that grass cut today so that we can make some hay. It's getting later in October. You don't really want to be making too much hay in October. There, that was a lot easier that time. Probably also because I had a bit of a decent run-up as well. That would have also made a difference. And I'll unfold that one. Bring you in there like that. I'll unload this. Get that front... Actually, you know, I can just go and sleep the night while that's unloaded. We can leave that there. I'll tell the workmen to finish that up. I'm going to go to bed because I'm tired, and I'm the boss, so I can go to bed early, and they can keep working. It's not really the way to do it, but... I'm going to exercise executive privilege today. Executive privilege was exercised. I'm going to put this one going again. Hired help is off. They're going to go and do that bit. Next up, we'll have a look up here. They are... oh, they're doing that little tiny bit there. Right, yeah, they're fine. They can mess around with that. This one here has unloaded everything the night before. Tractor's now been started up and ready. we're going to take over. We're going to drive this one back round, take it down to the field, and then we're going to go and get our mowers hitched on. Before I do that, though, I'm going to actually leave the front weight for this one right here, because at least I know where it is, and I can come back to it and deal with that later. So I'll drop that there. And then, because I don't want to take the front weight with me, that means I'd have to leave it down by the sheep farm, and I don't want to do that. And round we go. Back out to the field. So the sugar beet harvester doesn't actually have that much left to do in this field. Oops, all over the place there. But we've still got some that we're going to need to do. And then we have another field that we'll be working on later as well. So not you, you right here. That's most of the weeding done now. We've got a little bit down the other end of the field that we want to do. There's a little tiny piece right there that I just want to grab. Needs to be tidied up. There we go. And we can race off down over here, because I want to get that bit. I think the other field, the field 24, I'm pretty sure that's got some as well. So I'm going to need to go up there and have a look. Let me just grab this bit. Field 24. Let's have a look. Not 24, 22. Weeds. Yeah, field 22 has got weeds in it. Some of it is the first stage and some of it is the second stage. That's absolutely fine. We can deal with that. Turn around and get this little bit. I'm actually thinking I might try just starting this one doing the weeding in the field up there and leave it, not go around the outside edges first, do that afterwards. So I'll see if that works or not. It might. We might be able to do that. So you can go over there and carry on with that bit, and then I can go down here to this one. Unhitch that trailer right there. And we go and get our mowers on, and we can go and get started with that. So I can turn the lights off. We've got plenty of sunshine today. This is good. We need plenty of sunshine, because we're going to need our grass to dry out pretty quickly. It's October. This is not the ideal time of year to be making hay, but we need hay for our sheep. Hay is definitely something that they need. So we'll take this one around here. Now, where's the best way to get into this field? Let me turn my beacons on, and I want to go this way. There is a route to get into the field. It's not on this corner, though, is it? We had to go further up. We can't get through there. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.